Hi, this is Dr. Wright coming to talk to you today about critical thinking and begin looking at Southwest Airlines as a case to apply our critical thinking process that you have learned about in the PowerPoint lecture that was online. You also should have read the case called Should We Try to Make More Money? And this is an attachment in Blackboard, so make sure that you do not watch this video until you have read the case, highlighted some key points, and taken some notes, and then begun to think about what the problem is that we're facing here at Southwest Airlines. You should also have looked at the lecture on critical thinking and some handouts. The lecture is actually driven or created from this Guide to Critical Thinking book, and this is available for an inexpensive price, and there is, I believe, a few copies in the library that you could check out. Some other books or short readings are the Thinker's Guide to Analytic Thinking, and then the book I've read to help me understand how to teach it is Teaching Critical Thinking, so that you kind of understand where all of these ideas have been developed from and how we're applying them here at Texas Wesleyan. We are on a QEP project called Quality Enhancement Project, and that is intended to bring about critical thinking skills and develop those in students at Texas Wesleyan. So if you look at any job search, you're going to find that in the description there's going to be a significant amount of skill set desired by employers that says students can or employee can think critically. Critical thinking skills are a must in that. So we're looking at how we can begin to do that with you here in the classroom. So let's start by looking today at should we try to make more money? And so when you look at this, you can see that there are a lot of things going on. So if you haven't listed some things that you thought were going on in this case, then pause this video and write down what you think is going on here and what we're trying to figure out. And so when you do that, most students come back to saying the question really is charge or no charge. And we take a vote on that. And typically in the classroom setting, we'll get about a half and half, 60-40. It depends on the class. But what we want to do is think about, is this really the problem, or is this a symptom of a larger problem? And so if we look at this as just a symptom of a larger problem, we want to start thinking about symptoms that we identified in here. So I would ask you to think about going to the doctor. Symptoms are I have a headache, my back is hurting, and things like that. I've been sick to my stomach for a while. So the doctor doesn't just treat the headache and then each isolated symptom individually. The doctor steps back and says, okay, I understand all of your symptoms. Here's the problem. And that's kind of the mindset we need to shift ourselves into when we're looking at cases such as Southwest Airlines. So if we list the Southwest Airlines issues, you may see that we have an increase in fuel costs. We have possibly then also, we're the only one that doesn't charge. Only airline not charging. We have some terrorist threats that we have to be aware of. And security. We need to obviously generate more money so that we can continue to stay competitive and have a significant amount of the market share and be competitive. Other things that you might have seen are that other companies, so we need to be competitive. How do we increase the number of customers that we have? How do we decrease expenses? And sometimes in management, that's called how do we trim the fat? So there's lots of things going on here with the symptoms. So what we do then is we list what we see and we take a step back and we say, what's really going on here? We have a large customer base. We have competitive prices, fares. We have good customer service. People like our business model. And so we look at all this and say, what's really the problem here? So what's got us talking about all of this is charge or not charge. But that's not really the problem. That's a symptom that's generated a conversation about this. So when we take all of this, what we want to do is step back and look at all these symptoms and say, what is the real problem? And so when we look at that, you may find that looking in the index or the table of contents, of your textbook might be a good place to start. But what we're trying to do now is not charge or no charge. We're trying to figure out how can we be more profitable. That might be a problem statement that encompasses all of this. How can we be more profitable? Do we change our business model? So your problem statement may be a little bit different. Everyone's going to have a little bit of a different problem statement. But what we want you to do is not write a case analysis on charge or no charge and defend one or the other. The other option that tends to come out of a discussion is, well, we could charge for half. So first bag is a charge and the second bag is free. Or first bag is free, second bag is a charge. Because as you know, Southwest gives 2 free bags. So this may be another option after some discussion that students think might be a better option. But the bottom line is, please don't just focus on these. Please generate a larger problem statement that's more general and that encompasses all of the symptoms going on in the actual case. Now, when we look at this, how can we be more profitable? We get to a problem statement, which if you've looked at the process, you understand that in critical thinking, we have to figure out the problem and then generate some alternatives. So we need to start generating some alternatives that relate to this problem statement that solve or get rid of these symptoms. So what we do is look at how we can be more profitable. Well, we could obviously raise fares, prices. We could offer Wi-Fi in the hopes that we generate more customers. We could expand our market, which we would hope would create more customers as well, but it may be at the expense of another account. What else could we do? Well, we could maybe get a Southwest credit card that would generate money for us, add value to the customer, and not cost us much other than maybe adding a department to manage that. But the revenue may be more than what we would anticipate and offset the expenses very nicely for our company. So we look at all of these. We could, one student in another class said, offer free spirits, beverages, drinks. We could acquire another airline. So all of these are lists of alternatives. Now, when you have a list of alternatives, you should generate about 7 to 10. And then you should go back to those and you should start saying which ones probably aren't really a good idea. Increased fare prices probably isn't going to solve the problem. It may solve the problem, but it may be a deterrent to current customers and future customers. Because we want to look at that being more profitable for the long term. Offering free Wi-Fi would add value to the customers, but would it add enough value that we would gain customers by offering free Wi-Fi? We can leave that one on the table and come back to that. Expand the market. That's going to be a lot of advertising. That's going to be a lot of more money for maybe more planes that we have to purchase or acquire. And then obviously we'd need more employees. So that one might not be a real good option. So let's go ahead and cross that one out. A Southwest credit card, that would be good because we would offer them some type of incentive program. If they purchase their ticket with their Southwest credit card, maybe they get more points. Maybe they have access to lower fares, and they have maybe then access to free Wi-Fi because they can use their card, and there's a code with their card that gives them free Wi-Fi. So maybe we should keep this as an option. Offer free spirits would be a great incentive for those customers who are traveling for business and want to release and have a drink. There may be some safety issues that come with that and limitations, and it may be such that it creates a culture in our flight crew that isn't really a great experience for them because they have to manage all of the people drinking all of the alcohol. So we may want to cross that one out. But it may be that if you have a Southwest card or a loyal member, that might be an option. You could get that. Acquire another airline seems like a great idea, but that's also very expensive as well. So that might not be a long-term goal. So when we look at this, we have a couple different options, and you're going to want 2 or 3 that you're going to discuss, 3 alternatives, and the pros and cons, like I've just done verbally with you, about each one, and those become part of your paper. You will decide on one that you think is going to be the best option. So how do we keep our business model and become more profitable? So how does our business model become more profitable? Maybe these 2 problem statements could be merged, and maybe this is our best option. And so we discuss how that's going to benefit Southwest Airlines by creating a business model that currently exists, that's working, and generates more revenue inside that. You're going to find an example case analysis online, and I would like you to look through that. You should write a 3 to 5 page paper on the Southwest Airlines and talk about what's gone on inside Southwest Airlines. So the first case assignment, I'm going to work with you on this. And I hope this lecture here has helped expand your thinking and helped frame up what the expectations are for performing a case analysis. So use the case analysis guide, reference this lecture, the PowerPoint that I've created on slides about how to think critically. And then if you want access to one of these short little leaflet textbooks, I am happy to get those to you or provide them at some convenient location on campus where you could come peruse them and help you understand. You'll need to find 2 sources, scholarly references, that support or give some type of support to one of your alternatives or your solution. So I think the case analysis guide is a really good resource. It gives you an example case, and it gives you an example paper that someone wrote. Use that and talk to me or contact me via email or whatever it is to see if you have questions and we can talk through it in person or over the phone. But hopefully this helps you understand critical thinking. The next 2 cases that will be assigned, I will just be assigning them, and you'll do those independently. But this one here is a work in progress and a collective approach to critical thinking as we begin to introduce this shift in mindset and try to develop these skills. Look forward to seeing you online again, and hope all is well, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.